Because it's like,
Yeah, I
are they
mean,
trying to fill in the shoes of other promoters and trying to be
Mm-hmm.
like Eddie Hearn and Don King and all these other guys?
yeah,
Uh,
it's a real interesting thing as far as that. Go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead, Cam.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean it's
Okay.
real interesting right now with them. They have yeah, pretty much from Dana White, he's basically saying that they're building everything from the ground up. As far as they're getting some of those amateur boxers, some of those guys in the beginning stages, and trying to build them up into stars, into one actual league. It's only a limited amount of divisions. It's not the full 19 divisions that we have. In current boxing, it's going to be like I think 10. They said, I believe,
The
and
standard eight.
yeah, the standard, yeah. So the standard eight, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's going to be one belt in each division, and so they're doing everything UFC style. And if you look, they got rumored purses for these guys already out already, which is these purses is nasty work, man.
Yeah, I
They were
seen them.
saying that 20,000 for the unranked guys and 10 rounders, 50,000 for the number 5 ranked guy in a 10 round fight, 125,000 for the number 3 in the top four, and 375,000 for the title challenger, and 750,000 for the champions that's defending their title. So they got these UFC type purses, man, and I just don't know how well it's gonna do with boxing, man. And of course, you gotta, of course, with them trying to, if they're trying to literally trying to take over and become like the premier, promotion for us boxing, you got to deal with a lot of these other promotional companies that got some of these stars that they're going to convert because you're going to have to get stars to come over there, and if they can't convert getting stars to come over there, along with you got to deal with the sanctioning bodies. And I'm hearing that they're trying to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act, which is I don't
Yep.
think that's going to bode well because you got to get the Senate to sign off on that. And that's 60 people to sign off on that, and they're not. And of course, it's mainly Republican as far as the seats. They're not going to sign off on that, and I don't think Dana White and and Turkey Alalshikh has the connections to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act. What I'm saying? That's a real coveted thing that keeps safety for us the boxers, for as they're concerned. So TKO boxing, it's an interesting project. I don't see it working with how boxing currently is. But I'm interested to see if it works and see how they move with it. I know Dana White is on record saying him and Turkey Alalshikh. He said that as soon as he's done with his obligations with the other promoters for his Riyadh season and stuff within these next 18 months, his focus will be directly on TKO boxing after these next 18 months that he has scheduled and everything. So Turkey obviously has a plan mapped out for everything he has going on for his Riyadh season and Ring Magazine and dealing with the other promoters that he works with currently. But those other promoters better be careful because Turkey he didn't already built relationships and stuff with a lot of their fighters and stuff. Turkey could be looking to try to snatch up some of them fighters over there, bring them over there to TKO boxing, man. So the promoters, they better have their business tight and locked in with some of those fighters that they got, because Turkey he will try to take some of those fighters all over away from them and bring them over there to TKO boxing, man. That's a real hard pillow to swallow for us, those promoters if they allow that to happen. And that's why I think PBC they did a good job as far as their dealings with Turkey. As far as like, yeah, we'll send a fighter over there to fight on your court, or we'll give you this fight. We'll give you Pitbull um what's his dago name that just lost his
Garcia.
title.
Oh,
Um
not Barrios.
the Gary Tom Russell that just lost his title.
Jose Venezuela, something like that.
Oh yeah, on Rayo Valenzuela. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
we'll give you Pitbull and Rayo Valenzuela. We'll give you a fight, here and there, or a fighter here and there on this card or there. But we're not going to just, allow you to take over our business as far as, working in depth with our fighters and funding our cars and everything. PVC has everything locked in. They have a great deal with Amazon Prime, one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest apps in the world. And the other promoters with Top Rank and Matchroom Boxing and Golden Boy and Frank Warren with his staple over there with Queensberry. A lot of those guys allowed Turkey to fund a lot of their events, and that they got he was allowed to build a lot of relationships with a lot of their fighters. It, the money talks to a lot of these guys, man. That if they with guys coming off of them contracts and Turkey able to grab them up, he will try to grab them up. So it's time for those promoters that was partner up with Turkey, Oscar De La Hoya, Frank Warren, Bob Earl and Top Rank, they kind of shifting away from Turkey a little bit. They kind of shifting away from them because they're trying to do their own thing. Of course, Top Rank right now they're in a situation where their contract is going to be up in the summer with ESPN.
Yeah.
So right now I heard they're supposed to talk in this month about reing up a deal with them, but they're going to have a lower pay scale for as ESPN supporting and funding them than they had before. I heard they was getting like close to like 50 million a year at the time. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so with Top Rank, they're in a new situation where they're trying to find a new network and they're kind of drifting away from Turkey because that situation with Big Baby Anderson as far as fighting Martin McCauley, that left a sour taste in Bob Earl's mouth a little bit. He didn't like how that went down because they went directly with
Mm-hmm.
at Big Baby and offered him
Mm-hmm.
the fight, and Big Baby took the money. Big Baby got he only made about a little bit over 500,000 in that fight. He didn't even make over 1 million,
Yeah.
and apparently that was the most money that Big Baby made in his career. So you see Top Rank, they're drifting away from him, but it's time for those other promoters like I was mentioning about Oscar De La Hoya, Frank Warren, and Eddie Hearn. It's time for them to do their job. Y'all been sitting there, you know, taking Turkey money, funding y'all events and everything, and allowing him to work for y'all for us doing making fights happen, like fights like Baturbiev and Bivol. It was fights that Top Rank and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom they could have been making that fight themselves. They didn't want to
Dog.
make the fight themselves. They didn't want to fund the fight to make it themselves. And that's the problem with those promoters. They need to do their job and make the fights themselves and stop depending on a guy like Turkey to fund their events because that money is not going to last long. Turkey is trying to send all of them guys over there to fight over there in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, they won't fund Turkey anymore because he's losing a lot of money. He's losing millions of dollars on his events. They only want him to do events in Saudi Arabia currently right now.
Yep.
So all of the events that he's doing outside of Riyadh season, like the Ring Magazine event May 2nd, and the event with Anyway, because he does got a little deal with Anyway currently too. And the events that he got coming up, like he's that's his own dime. That's not Saudi Arabia funded money that he's that these fights that he has going on in America and stuff. That's on his own dime, and so that's why he said he's in 18 months he's going to be focusing strictly on TKO boxing. He's not going to fund all of these guys' money. So Turkey's about to take money away from funding you guys. So you guys, these you promoters, Oscar De La Hoya, Frank Warren, and Eddie Hearn, it's time for you guys to do your job. Do your job. Fund these events. Make the big fights happen. Because y'all weren't doing it before. Y'all been doing a lot of hiding for a lot of certain fighters, specifically, you know, Anthony Joshua. I mean, the man, you see what he did. He ended up fighting a Ngannou, and then he ends up fighting Daniel Dubois and getting washed. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for those promoters to do their job. The TKO Boxing Project, I'm interested to see how it works But we we'll see. I don't think it's going to work the way they got, especially if they paying people the fighters the same way that they're fighting. They're paying USC fighters over there. I don't think it's going to work.
Oh
Of course,
man, yeah.
Dana White. He's a guy that just got. He had to pay former UFC fighters just
Yeah, I
now
heard.
$375 million just now.
I heard. I saw that.
They sued him
So
for over over $1 billion. But they settled for 375. Go ahead, bro.
okay, hold on. Me. Let me clear my throat. First of all, you already hit on a lot of points. My father once told me, once a man show you who he is, you better believe that's who he is. Turkey has shown Eddie Hearn, Top Rank, Oscar De La Hoya exactly what he is going to do, and they are so stupid to continue to work with this man. That man said, "I am going to crush all promoters." And the last time I checked, Eddie Hearn is a promoter. Queensberry is a promoter. He's already shown them what he's about to do. Like you alluded to, Cam, I said the same thing. I said, if I was Eddie Hearn in Queensberry, I'd be checking the temperature of my fighters because you won't be able to sell this thing without no top fighters. Them 700,000, that's good for the average working cat like me and you. You know what I'm saying? I get in there for 500,000, something like that. That's for me and you. B-level fighters
Right.
between D and B-level fighters. That's what that's for. But the A-listers that's making 2 million, 3 million, you ain't getting them, bro. And
Hmm.
they talking about Dana White said the boxing scene, we already got 150 fighters lined up, ready to sign, ready to go. I said, okay, when are you gonna get these fighters? You all they're doing is sitting and waiting for these contracts to run out from Eddie Hearn, and then he gonna go snatch them up. And they so stupid because they're gonna end up getting put out of business. And they don't see that either they see it and they don't care and they're just trying to take the short money, or they see it and they don't care and they think they gonna just take his money and continue to do what they do. He's already shown them. Bob Arum said about the Anderson situation. He said he went right past him and talked to Piccoli and talked to Anderson. That's illegal. But Bob Arum said, "Oh, I got my cut, so it was okay." The TKO thing is not going to work because number one, what they're going to do, they're going to lock these guys in, and they're probably going to put clauses. Once you monopolize something, you could put clauses in the contract. Okay, you win this many fights, I can re-up your contract for another 4-5 years. Or I can do this another fucking. When you're monopoly, you can change things. Like, dude, when Netflix go up on their income, they don't send out no questionnaire. Oh, we're gonna raise the price. Do you think we should raise the prices? No, they just do it. That's exactly what's gonna happen to them paying them UFC style. Eddie Hearn them could have been making these fights, like you said, a long time ago. Even Eddie Hearn had the audacity to say out of his mouth, "Oh, the Dubois AJ fight couldn't happen without Turkey money." Really? Like AJ didn't have a following in the UK for years? Are you kidding me? That fight couldn't happen without Turkey. Yes, it could have. Now, where I do give Turkey credit is you're taking another big name fighter and putting him on the undercard, like Shakur and Andrew Reeves and all of them guys. But you can still keep the top core, like Usyk Fury could have happened. But you got money, and you might put somebody lower on the undercards because that requires money. All he's doing for the undercards is stacking names on there. But the other fights could have happened.
Absolutely. I was
The
just
other
about to
fight could
say
have
that.
been happened. They could have been happened. You could have just put some lower guys on the undercards, some showcases, but they could have been happened. Turkey is still literally trying to steal boxing and take it over there. And I don't think it's going to work because, like you said, you got to get Congress to sign off on that. And when they see what's going on, they're not going to sign off on that. You, Eddie Hearn, stop being stupid. Look at what he's doing. Pay attention, please. I'm no fan of Eddie Hearn like that, and I'm not a fan of Queensberry and all the rest of them guys, even Top Rank, because even Billy Keene's lawsuit, which was very calculated, by the way, because Billy Keene has a relationship with TKO. It was very calculated to sully their name so don't no network or distributing people can touch them now. Oh, you were involved with Daniel, I forgot how to say his last name. You involved with a drug lord, a kingpin? Oh, we ain't gonna sign up with you. We ain't gonna put no distributor and put your fights out on here. You dealing with drug dealers and kingpins and killers? But look at Turkey background. He had somebody put in jail for making a tweet for him for 8 years. A guy made a tweet for him, and he's been put in jail for 8 years. He had an American journalist executed for writing something unfavorable about him. His background is just as dirty.
Mm.
I did homework on
Ugh.
that dude. His background is just as dirty, dude. They better wake
Facts.
up, or they're gonna find themselves put out of it, and it will be their own fault. Their own fault. PBC was the only one, like you said, was smart enough to like, yo, we ain't gonna partner with him. And I'm telling you now, he's partnered with the WBC, and that's why they're still kissing up. and they got this Ring magazine. As soon as he gets done and he sets up what he wants to set up, they all out the door. They all out the door, and they better wise up and pull back right now. That's the only way it's gonna happen. But they so stupid and blinded by these big fights and these big contracts that they getting money. That's how he's doing. He's blinding them. And dude, 95% of the boxing world can see what Turkey is doing and saying that. But anybody who comes out and says, "Yo, you just hating on Turkey, you hating," no, you can point out the BS and enjoy a good fight card. Both is
Facts.
possible. Both is possible. It's not gonna work, bro. Them UFC, them are UFC standard fights. You can only get the B-level guys to sign up for that. It's not gonna work.
Facts.
I did all my homework. You know what? The homework came to me. I didn't even have to go do research because Turkey put it out there for all of us to see. He's not hiding his agenda.
Absolutely.
He's not hiding it. He's telling Eddie Hearn, "I'm gonna steal your fighters, bro. I'm gonna come into your house. I'm gonna put my dirty cowboy boots on. I'm gonna come in your house and I'm gonna grab my feet on your couch." And he doing it. And he
Facts,
doing it.
man. He
He
just
doing it.
cooked. Yeah.
He cooking them, bro. And they so stupid, man. If they don't wise up, bro, they're gonna be out of boxing, and PBC gonna be the only one left standing. And Dana White already said the boxing scene. He said it on another podcast that I heard, and he said it last week to somebody else who interviewed him. I am not working with no other promoters. I'm gonna be in my own bubble. What does that tell you? What does that tell you,
Hostile takeover.
bro? If Al Heyman said that, oh, it'll be mass hysteria.
Man.
It'll be mass
Man.
hysteria
That
everywhere.
it
Wake up, Eddie
amazes
Hearn.
me that they really give Al Heyman like, and it'd be a lot of black boxing fans. They be giving Al Heyman a lot of flack on, a lot of fights and a lot of fighters and stuff. His brand with PBC and everything. He gets so much flack when he's doing everything the legit right way in boxing. They are making events in boxing to make a profit and to further the sport of boxing. And on top of that, they're making the fighters work for their worth.
Bro, Cam,
They're building fighters, they're building champions, they're building guys in the stars that's becoming pay-per-view stars. We're watching in front of our eyes with David Benavidez right now. He's a future star right now that's really doing his thing in the sport of boxing, and he's a PBC guy.
bro,
Well,
Cam.
let me say this. My favorite. Well, I'm a Spence fan. He's PBC, but my favorite PBC fighter, to me, who has a throwback mentality, is Sean Porter. I mean, he's
Mm-hmm.
retired,
Facts.
but I feel like he set the bar. That's how you're supposed to do your career. That's how your resume is supposed to be. No more cherry picking,
Absolutely.
no more ducking, no more hand picking. You fight the best, and then you sell off in the sunset, and you feel real good about yourself.
Bro,
Facts.
Al
That
Heyman, he did two things to the fighters, man. He gave them their own stuff. If you look at it, he set them up so they can have their own stuff. Bob Squad Enterprises, Lions Only, Man Down. They not, dude. They hate him because he took the power from the promoters and he promoted them themselves. But Turkey is doing the exact same thing in terms of using a de facto promoter. He's using Eddie Hearn and Queensberry the same way that Al Heyman uses everybody
that's the
else.
same
The
shit,
same thing,
man.
and they give that man hell for it,
For
bro.
real, man.
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
you just look at PBC. What they've done. They've built stars within every division that they had because they got over like 250 fighters over there.
Yeah, yeah,
So they got the biggest roster out of all of the promotional companies for boxing. And you just look at them for as how they did at that certain time for as Porter, Danny Garcia, Thurman, Earl, and some of the other guys that they had in that 147-pound division at that time. They made all of those guys fight each other, and they
yeah,
all fought each other.
bro. But they
Like
was
they
getting hell for
literally,
fight.
they
They was
it
getting
was
hell for
like a
doing that,
tournament. It was like a tournament style for that division at that time. And anybody hating on that because we had the best fighting the best in the 147-pound division. The only person that was standing on the island was Bud Crawford because he over there at top rank. And there
bro,
wasn't no guys over there at 147. And we telling
bro,
Bud, come to PBC. All the smoke over here at PBC. Bud like, nah, I'm gonna fight. fight Pascal and fight Amir Khan over here at Top Rank. Like,
Bro, when his contract ran out, they said, and it was public. He said that Top Rank made him an offer that he could not refuse, and that's why he re-upped with him. I said, bro,
he
that's your
chose
own
the
fault.
money.
He chose the money.
He
He
chose
said
the
that out of his
money.
own mouth. You are and I understand this. You are a big fish in a little pond over there. When you come over to PBC, you were just a fish. You got to earn to become a big whale over there. But no, he stayed over there, took the money and re-up with him. And Bob Arum kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get you to fight. I'm gonna get you to fight." And then when he was after the Sean Porter fight at the press conference, he said Bob Arum wasn't trying to get me that fight. And I said, "Oh, really? Duh, duh, duh." And that's when the law. I don't think anything came of the lawsuit that he filed against Arum. I think they dropped it or something like that because he ended up fighting Errol anyway. But the fight could have been
Yeah, he
happened.
dropped it. He
Okay.
dropped it because they wasn't gonna do nothing with that lawsuit for real. It was a waste of time.
Yeah. Nah, man. It's Turkey. You know what, man? Turkey. His motives is what bothered me. He doesn't love boxing like Bob Arum loves boxing. And as much as I don't like De La Hoya, like De La Hoya loves boxing, like Eddie Hearn loves boxing, like Queensberry loves boxing. They put their heart and their souls into this. He's trying to buy his way in. He don't care about it. And when the money starts to dry up, he gonna pull away from them, and they all gonna be looking stupid. You better wake up, Eddie Hearn. If you watching Queensberry, dude, he showed you his cards. He's showing you what he's doing. Wake up, bro. Or you gonna be like I said, you better go check the temperature of fight. Like, man, hey, look, Turkey gonna offer you this money. You gonna go? Okay. You gonna go? You gonna stay? It's gonna be a sad day for them, man, if they let this happen. And I ain't gonna even feel sorry for neither one of them because you gave this man the keys to your house. Like I said, he came in and grounded his feet on your couch, and y'all ain't even whip his legs. Y'all let him do it.
Facts.
Well, man, I'm gonna wrap it up in a little bit, but